Hi guys, I'm Anisha. Welcome back to my channel, and my today's video is a bit different from the other videos of mine. So this is not a makeup tutorial that I'm going to show you all. So it's all about, I'm going to show you how you can avoid certain mistakes that we usually do, like I used to do when I was learning makeup, when I was into it. So yeah, so how can avoid these mistakes? So I'm going to share you simple and basic things which you can do so that these mistakes you can avoid, so that it doesn't make your makeup look very cheap and ugly. So one side of the face, I'm going to show you what products and how you can choose the right foundation or maybe the right concealer, maybe everything according to your skin type and your face. And on the other side, I'm going to show you what are those mistakes that we usually do when we do makeup. So yeah, without any further ado, please let's get into the video. Now usually when we begin our makeup, we prep our skin really well so that our makeup stays for a much longer time. And I have moisturized my face, my whole face I have done it. Now we'll begin with the primer. So for that I'm using this Wet n Wild Photo Focus primer, and this primer I'm going to apply it on the right side of my face. On the left side I'm not going to apply any primer, because usually what happens, people do avoid using a primer. Like people do not know what does a primer exactly do for our skin, and they usually skip the primer and they only moisturize the skin and then directly they move towards the foundation. So today you're gonna see that what does a primer do, and what if I apply a foundation without a primer, then what it will do. So yeah, let's begin. So I'm applying the primer on the right side of my face and I'm blending it. Now we'll move on to the foundation. Now foundation should highlight your skin, your natural skin tone, and it should not cover it completely. So on the right side of my face, I'm going to use this Lakme Primer Plus Matte Perfect Cover Foundation, and on the left side I'm going to use this Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. So why I'm using this on the left side is it gives me a full coverage, and since I feel that this foundation is a bit lighter for my skin tone, so it's very important that you choose a right shade for your skin tone according to your skin type. So I feel that this is a bit lighter and this completely suits my tone. So yeah, so that's the main important thing, that's the main mistake that everyone do, is we always think that okay, we should go on for a lighter shade for the foundation. No, it's not that. You have to choose the foundation according to your skin tone, according to your skin type. Yeah, so let's begin. So I'm applying this Lakme one on the right side. I'm taking this Maybelline one pump and I'm just applying it on my left side of the face. Now always make sure that whenever you apply a foundation, just apply a little bit to your neck so that it gives you a proper tone and it doesn't look very uneven. So but this one, you see, I have not applied it on my neck, so you can see the difference when I blend it. Now I'll blend my right side of the foundation first with this Damp Beauty Blender. Can you see my right side is blended so seamlessly because I've blended it with a Damp Beauty Blender. Now for my left hand side, I'm using this different beauty blender, but it's not wet, it is a dry sponge, and people usually skip it, like okay, we do not need to use a wet sponge, but it is important because a wet sponge will always help you to blend your foundation very seamlessly, while a dry sponge, you can see when I'll do it, it will absorb the foundation. You can see it will absorb your foundation and it will not give you that proper look. Can you just see? It doesn't blend. So guys, please do wet your sponge while blending the foundation, otherwise you are going to get this look. So can you see guys how difficult it is to blend with this dry sponge? And you can see that white cast, it's looking like that I have just painted over my face, while this side looks more natural. So with much difficulty, it's finally blended, but can you see how much product this blender has consumed? While you can see this one, because it has not consumed so much of product, and see this one, can you just see the difference between the two sponge? So it's always necessary that you just wet your sponge before you blend your foundation. That is the one step which is must, and you need to prep your face, because what happens is then you will see these lines. If you have open large pores, then your pores will be like really visible if you do not apply a primer and just move on to the foundation directly. Now we'll move on to the concealer part and see what mistake you can avoid there. On the right side, I'll be using this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer Corrector. On the left hand side, I'm going to use this Pack Takeover Concealer. Now this Pack Concealer is very good. It is suitable for dry skin type, normal to dry skin type, but it has a kind of yellow tone. I'm just usually highlighting my usual areas for concealing. On the right hand side, I'm using this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. Now I'm taking the same sponge, the wet sponge, and I'm blending it. Now see how easy it becomes to blend with a wet sponge without the blender consuming much product. Did you see how fast it was? It was so easy to blend this side. I did not cut that part, guys, so you have seen live that how easily it got blended. And see this side, I'm using this dry sponge again and I'll blend it. Now it's gonna take much longer time, so I'm just going to edit this part. So can you see, guys, that I don't know whether the camera is doing justice or not, but this side looks, when I'm seeing myself in real, oh god, this side looks more patchy and looks very cakey, heavy, while this side of my face looks so subtle and natural. Another mistake that you could avoid by using the right shade for the concealer, and according to your skin type, which concealer suits you, you can choose according to that. So yeah, now once the concealer is done, we'll move on to the eyebrows and we'll see how can we do the eyebrows correctly and which mistakes to avoid. Now first, I'm giving a shape to the eyebrows by using the spoolie, and this side I'm not using a spoolie and I'm not giving any shapes, so I'll directly do my eyebrows. Now for eyebrows, I'm using this Wet n Wild palette. Now this is the palette which I've always used in my videos. So I'll take the brush from the palette and I'll take this light brown shade from the palette and I'll do my eyebrows. So whenever you are doing your eyebrows, make sure that you keep it very natural and you do not go too overboard with it, and you give very light strokes to your eyebrows so that it doesn't look very unnatural. So people sometimes do, they make their eyebrows thick black or jet black, which doesn't go with your look at all. So you need to avoid that and you need to see how you should do correct eyebrows. So I'm taking this brown shade, I'm giving just light strokes to my eyebrows. So I'll just again comb my eyebrows with the help of the spoolie, and if there's any excess color, so I'll just brush it off. Now we'll move on to the left side of my eyebrows, and for that I'm taking this darker shade from the palette and I'll just start brushing it without even combing it before. So I'm just going to take it. Now I'm not using this light brown shade at all, I'm just using the darker brown shade. Now can you see, it looks so weird, guys. Like this side I've just combed my excess color if it's there to keep it like more natural, while this side I'm not doing it. I'm avoiding it because people do not do that, they usually avoid it. But you need to, like if you do not comb, what happens, the color clings onto one place and looks very odd, the one which is looking right now. So yeah, so now we'll move on to the next step, which I usually do is concealing my extra hairs, and I give a defined shape to my eyebrows. But people often do not do that, they just leave in a hurry and they skip the step. So I'll show you how you can do this step and what difference does it make to your eyebrows. Now I'm applying the concealer underneath my eyebrows and on the top of my brows to give it a defined shape. And now I'm not doing it this side, I'm And now I'm just taking an angular brush and I'll just blend it very easily. So can you see this side looks more precise and clean, while this side I don't even want to say what does it look like. So yeah, you need to do this step because it's at most necessary so that it gives a proper and defined shape to your eyebrows. And now we'll move on to the further step which is the setting spray, Photo Focus Natural Finish setting spray. So what I usually do is, before applying the compact or any loose powder or anything to your face, I always set my makeup with a fixing spray so that my base is all set and it doesn't move. So since this side we are doing a complete mistake makeup, so yeah, this side I'm not going to apply setting spray. I'm just going to apply it on the right side of my face, and you can see the difference. So I'm just taking this, I'm holding this copy, I'm just spraying it on the right side. Immediately set it up with a sponge, or you can also fan it off. Now can you see this side looks so subtle, so glowy and so natural, and I don't know, like I'm just not liking this part of my face, so just avoid it. And now we'll move on to the compact. For that I'm using this Maybelline Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless Compact, and this is in the shade Light Ivory. Now this is the shade. Now I'll take this puff which is there in the, and I'll take a little bit and I'll just apply it under my eyes, and also apply to those areas where I have put the concealer, and I pack it. My the base makeup is all set. Also I'm applying the powder, the compact, on this side of the face, and you can see it is just clinging onto my dry patches, and the fine lines under your eyes is just so visible. Now I'll take this Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette, and I'm just taking the transition shade, this yellow shade from the palette, and I'll just blend it in a circular motion from my crease. And this side of my eyes, usually what I used to do earlier is I just used to take one color, like I'm just taking this color for suppose, and I used to apply it all over to my eyes like this, and just drag it like this. So what happens is your color gets fade off, and you need to take color again and again, and you need to work it on, blend it on, and it takes your hell lot of time. So yeah, I used to do like this, and then I used to pick any of the color, dark color. I wanted to show a little more intense, so I used to take this brown color and I used to apply it over my crease like this, and also to my outer corner of the eye. Now this side of my eye, I'll take this orange shade, dust off the excess, and I'll just, in a circular motion, I'll just blend it. Now could you see, I just took a little bit of color from the palette and it's done. My whole eye is done. While on this side, when I was dragging the eyeshadow, it was like I had to just dip it in the color for 4-5 times, and then I used to get that effect. So yeah, you need to blend it in a circular motion, so do not drag it, because then your color just washes off from your eyes. Now I'm taking this brown shade, because when you apply the eyeshadow, just don't go from light to dark, just take it like a transition effect. Like, can you see, I have just put this transition shade, and then I put this dark, and then I'm going a little bit darker. I'm not going this to this, so it's a big mismatch. So I'm just going to dip on this shade, and I'll start blending it from the outer corner of my eyes. Once I'm done with the outer corner of my eye, I've blended it properly, I'll take this lighter shade from the palette with my fingers, and I'll just place it on the middle of my eyelid. just like this. And then I'll again take a smaller fluffier brush and I'll just blend all the colors together. Can you see the difference between both my eyes? How ugly it looks when you just jump to a lighter shade to a direct darker shade and you forget the in-between transition shades, so it will just give you this look. So try to create a transition effect so it will give you a much nicer and a precise look. Now once it's done, I'll take this lighter shade from the palette and I'll put it on the inner corner of my eyes and highlight the inner corner of my eyes. And now most of the people, what they do is they put darker shade on the inner corner of their eyes. So guys, that's not the thing. You have to put a lighter shade in the inner corner of your eyes. Now if I take a darker shade, suppose this one, I take this shade from the palette, I'll put it. It looks so ugly and patchy also. It is not complementing the look. This is one thing that you need to avoid. You always need to apply a lighter shade to your inner corner of the eye. Then move on to the next step, which is the liner. And what people usually do is you need to put the eyeliner according to your eye shape. If you have smaller eyes, then please guys do not put a thick eyeliner because that will make your eyes look much smaller. Always try to put a thin eyeliner. People, what usually do is they create a wing like this. Now if you're not comfortable with starting from the outer corner of the eye, start from the inner corner of the eye and put the liner. Like, be very precise and very slow. If you're not, your hand is not very set in putting a line, I'll start it from there because I'm comfortable in starting with the inner corner of my eyes. So I'll start from here. I'll keep it very thin since I want my eyeshadows to pop up. And I'll create a very small wing. Now I'll just keep my outer corner of the eye a little thicker than the inner corner of my eye. So always try to thicken your liner on the outer corner of the eye and not to your inner corner of the eyes. So just avoid this step. Now people avoid putting their mascara to their lower lashes, but you shouldn't because that will complete your look. You can see I'm not putting the mascara to my left side of my lashes, to my lower lashes. I'm just putting it to my right side and you can see the difference clearly. Can you see I have not put the mascara to my lower lashes on the left side of my face, but I have done this on my right side of the face and it just defines my look in a much better way. So that's the difference. You must not avoid this step. You need to put the mascara to your lower lashes as well to complete your look. Now we'll move on to the blush, and for that I'm using this Lakme Pure Rouge blusher in the shade Ginger Surprise. Now people always put lots and lots of blush on their face just like this and they just drag it. So can you see it looks so odd? It is not looking natural at all. So on this side what I'll do is I'll take it, I'll always dust off the excess and then I'll start applying it on the apple of my cheeks, and just in a circular motion I'll blend it and then I'll drag it to my hairline. I'll not take any excess product. If I'm seeing that the blush has a good payoff, I'll not take excess product. I'll just drag it on like this. Now can you see? I don't know. This side looks more subtle while this side is so fake. Okay, so guys, we'll move on to the blush, the highlighter, and for that I'm using this Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter in the shade Molten Gold. So this is the highlighter. I'll take a small brush, and what people usually do is they take lots and lots of highlighter and put it all over. just change my brush because it was difficult to blend that. Now, can you see? It looks so patchy. And if you apply the highlighter to your to all over to your face and all over to your cheeks, it will cling onto your pores also, because since I have not primed up this side, guys, you know it. Now on the right side, I'll take the same brush and the same highlighter. I'll dust off the excess and I'll put it on the highest point of my cheeks. I'll just take it to my hairline. So this looks more subtle, I guess, if you can see, if the camera does the justice. And now we'll finally move on to the lip colors. So guys, always try to choose your lip shades according to your eyeshadows or maybe your eye look. If you're going too bold with your eyes, try to make your lips more soft and subtle, so that there's one focus at a time and there are not too many things on your face that is getting focused on. So yeah, since my eyes, I have kept my eyes a little bit darker and a little bit, so what people usually do is they, okay fine, I'll go bold, and since I have a bold look, so I'll go bold. So people do is, I'm taking a red lipstick on this side of my lip, this side of my lips, on the left side, and I'm applying. Sorry guys, I just forgot to show you. On this side of my lips, I have used this Maybelline Intense Crayon in the shade Intense Red. So this is the shade number which is written. So can you see how I don't know, like you can just find the difference. It's not complementing my look. My eyes are bold, my eyes are dark, my lips are bold. So you guys are confused like where to focus on my eyes or on my lips. But now this side, I'm using this Maybelline Sensational Liquid Matte in the shade Truly MLBB. The shade number is written here. So I'm using a much nude shade for my lips, and I'll apply it. So this side of my lips are done. Now can you see, if you can see how subtle this looks. This side looks, the right hand side of my face looks. Now my eye color and my lips, it's a bit nude, so it's like going off with my look. But this side, you guys don't know where to focus on. Even I don't know what I've done with this side. So yeah, so these are some of the makeup mistakes like you need to avoid. You need to choose the right foundation. You need to do some steps. If you are a makeup lover and if you're a makeup kind of person, you need to do certain steps. You can't avoid it, otherwise it will make your look very patchy, very bad. You will look very, it will make your makeup, it will not do justice with your makeup. So there's no point investing in so much of products and if you're not doing these steps properly. So yeah, this video was for this purpose, so that I could just connect to you and tell you what are those things that you could avoid for your makeup. And I guess I was successful in doing this, so you can see the difference as well. And I hope that this video has helped you, will help you. And if you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video very soon. Till then, bye bye, take care.